Hello and welcome back for Season 3, Episode 6 of Aberdeen FC, the Red Revival. Today we have our quarter-final clash. We've been drawn against Bayern Munich, with the first game taking place at Pittodrie. The winner of this tie will play the winner of the Man United AC Milan game. So two sides that we're quite familiar with. We've played them before. I think we lost to both sides as well, so it'll be a tricky one if we can get past Bayern, but I'm not looking too far ahead from that at the moment. Just to catch up on the schedule, following the Chelsea game, we played Ross County at home. We got a 4-1 win, Farage double, Hugo and Siebert getting on the score sheet in that game. We then faced St Johnstone at McDermott Park, 4-1 victory, Rainier, Mastantuono, Hugo and Thomas on the score sheet. We then played St Mirren at Pittodrie, 5-0 win, Rachmani, Lawrence, Johannesson, Mwanta and Mosquera on the score sheet. And we then played out a boring 0-0 draw at Ibrox with Rangers, but again, it's not the worst result away from home against one of the Old Firm. John Kennedy still not performing whatsoever. If we have a quick look at his form, we can see all the orange in there. His form's been pretty poor, and the last time he scored is no longer even within his form, but we can see he's been playing plenty of games. Annoying thing is he's got a good scoring record through the course of the season, but he's just not scored. I think it was the 17th of December was the last time he scored a goal for us, so yeah, he's getting annoying, but what can you do other than try and persevere and get a little bit more out of him if possible. Yep, we'll move on anyway. Probably give you a little bit of further news before the game. Just before we move on to the game against Bayern, we did get our youth intake. We've got a 4-star intake, so good intake according to the head of youth development. Pick of the bunch here, Steve Blanchard, 5-star potential, 1.5-star current ability. We get a quick look at him. He looks like a pretty good player already, pretty good physically, fairly decent mentally with room to grow there, and not too bad technically either for a 15-year-old, so he could be a player that really kicks on for us in the coming seasons. If we look at the coach report, he is fairly susceptible to injuries, so we need to keep an eye on that and kind of nurse that side of things, but he is a pick of the bunch, not a bad bunch. We'll move on to the Bayern game. So that brings us on quite nicely then to the Bayern Munich game. Line-up for today is Dalberg in goals, Mikic at right back, Citadini and Simic at centre back, Borza at left back, Maya in defensive midfield, Johannesson in centre mid, Mastantuono in the inside forward position on the right, Rainier on the left, Rachmani, and the very much out of form John Kennedy up front. Don't really have much option to change him unless I put on one of the youngsters, so we're going to go with him today, keep some faith in him, see if he can finally hit the back of the net. It's been nearly 4 months since he scored and he's played most of those games since then. Steve Blanchard's in on the bench today. Seen from a youth intake, he's a great prospect, just to make up the numbers on the bench really. So we'll get into the dressing room. Tell the boys we've been in a good run. Hopefully we can get some sort of reaction quite early in the game. Have gone cautious on this game. Been tending to do so when it's against the bigger teams in the Champions League. So we've got our formation here, we're playing our usual 4-2-4. And Bayern will line up today with a 4-2-3-1 formation. Harry Kane's still there as well. He must be getting on a little bit now, but he's in good form by the looks of it. We'll get the game underway, so hopefully we don't end up completely out of this tie in the first leg. It's going to be a tougher one than the Chelsea game. We've got an early highlight here, and Rainier's put us ahead very early on. 3rd minute of the game, absolutely brilliant. Good finish from him, good play from the throw in there down the left. So certainly no complaints from here. We've started off extremely brightly. Bayern have got an early booking for one of their centre backs, so hopefully we can take advantage of that and put him a little bit on edge. Coming forward, Rachmani looks to have picked up a slight knock, as has Mastantuono. But I don't want to take either of them off just now, as we're trying to force a mistake out of Bayern early on and we've stole possession. It's through to Rainier again, his shot's been blocked, and Maya has won a corner for us. Corner to be taken by Rainier. We can get anything out of this. It's been cleared. Bayern now look to break, but Johannesson breaks that one up. So that's good, yeah, positive start in the first 20 minutes. We've been the better side so far. We've actually had more possession as well. But there is a highlight here for Bayern coming forward. It's dropped for Musiala. don't like him being out on that left side there, but it's broken through for Elise to equalise. So yeah, it's always going to be a tough game, this one. Equaliser there from Bayern. We dallied a little bit in the ball instead of just clearing it from defence here, and he's punished us. It's still early days in the fixture. See if we can get anything further out of this first half of the game. I think we've played well enough to merit not going behind, but it doesn't always work that way, does it? As Bayern play the ball around, ball over the top. It's broken out again to Elise. I might consider bringing Borzo off at some point with that booking down the left. He's just given me the absolute fear, and Leroy Sané's turned it in to make it 2-1 to Bayern. So Bayern now look to be getting into their stride a little bit. Might be time for us to come back off of cautious and go a little bit more positive and go to balanced mentality. And straight away we've got a highlight for Bayern again. Sané swings it in, but Jay's headed it over the crossbar. So I don't think Bayern have been that much better than us today. It's been a little bit poor in that left back position, as much as Borza's like a 7.4. Both of the goals have came from that area. I'm going to tell the guys they're not performing well enough in terms of the fact, you know what, it's not really been working. I'm trying to figure out how to get something out of John Kennedy here. He's just been shocking. So I'm just going to say they've been unlucky so far. It's garnered a response. See what sort of response we get in the second half here. Don't think they have been unlucky. We've been kind of the masters of our own downfall so far. So we've got a highlight here then in the 51st minute. Picked Simic today ahead of Siebert. I think Simic has been playing pretty well recently. He's really grown into the side. Siebert though does present a better threat from set pieces. So we might consider bringing him on at some stage. Mastantuono, and that's a cracking goal. Brilliant play. Turned the defender inside out and good goal from distance here. So we're back to all square, 2 each. Ideally we'd want to win this game because it's going to be really tricky going to the Allianz Arena, trying to get something out of it. But really we've scored with only 2 shots on target today, so question mark to the Bayern goalkeeper, especially with that one from distance. But we look to be struggling a little bit here now as Bayern are taking a little bit of the momentum of the game. And they come forward here in the 63rd minute. Elise, and it's straight at Dalberg. More chances like that would be appreciated. Yeah, I think we need to make some changes. John Kennedy, again, it's having an absolute stinker. 6.4 rating. Maya's not playing well either, he's also on a booking, so we'll bring Davy Watson on. That Borza booking's really giving me the fear as well. I don't have a left back on the bench at the moment. I think there was a suspension for Thomas, so I'm going to need to just leave Borza on and hope that he behaves himself. Mikic, we'll bring him off for Ramsey. And I think maybe Johannesson is not having the greatest of game in central midfield. We'll bring Ranocchia on for him. Kennedy, who do we bring on for Kennedy really? It's got to be a youngster. I think we'll leave him on for now. Maybe change his role just to see if we can get anything out of it. We'll put him in as a poacher and see if it makes any difference to him. Read that before, sometimes it is just a fact of changing the role. You can get something out of a player, but I suppose in this game he's not really had much in terms of chances to sniff at. I'm going to just make a wee change, I think, to the formation. I think I'm just going to go back to the old one. We'll go with this today and see if we can get anything further out of it. So we'll bring Rainier off for Mosquera, who used to do quite well for us in that role. What I'll do is I'll bring Kennedy off because he's not in form anyway. What's the point of even being here? See if we can do anything in the last 15 minutes, going back to the old school tactic. Bayern have really kicked on this second half. Their XG's pretty frightening, to be fair. So if we actually do come away with a draw today, we've really gotten away with one. We'll need to consider what we do in the second leg, because this is not working against Bayern Munich. Going into the final couple of minutes, we've got a corner. Mastantuono swings it in. We've actually hit the post there from the looks of it. It's recycled now with Simic. Back to Watson. It's broken out now to Ramsey. Man, we're getting a little bit of kind of luck from the looks of it from this side of things, but creating some better chances there at the end of the game. Maybe being a little bit too late going back to this formation, but Mosquera is broken through the middle. He's got plenty of players in support with him, and he's just hit a really kind of tame shot there. Shouldn't have been so greedy with that one, but 2-2 draw at home in the first leg. Got quite a bit of work to do then in the second leg of this game. We'll get into the dressing room. I'm going to tell the guys that we've done well to come back and salvage a draw there. John Kennedy, if he doesn't score in the next game in between this one, he's just getting put in the reserves. There's no point in him even existing at this stage in time. He does absolutely nothing of any note in any game at the moment. He's been absolutely shocking. McMahon's picked up a slight knock. So what we'll do then is off camera, we'll go ahead and we'll play the Dundee game at home, and then we'll come back for the second leg against Bayern. So just the Dundee game to catch up in. It was played off camera. We had a very entertaining 4-2 win at Pittodrie. Goal scorers on the day were Lawrence, Ranocchia and Mosquera. Ethan Laidlaw got a double for Dundee. Anyone that's played the game before will know that he was a previous wonder kid in the game for Hibs. Moved on since then. Anyway, that leads us on nicely to the second leg against Bayern. So yeah, on to the Bayern game. We'll just get the lineup first of all, and I'll let you know some tweaks I've made to the tactic really to try and counter Bayern. So in goals, Dahlberg, Mikic at right back, Citadini and Siebert at centre back, Borza at left back, Watson in defensive midfield, Mastantuono on right wing, Ranocchia centre mid, Mosquera on the left, Kennedy and Rick Manny up front. Reverted back to previous tactic. I think we had a little bit of success towards the end of the game against Bayern when we went back to this tactic. A little bit more solid, I think, for away from home against them as well. Bayern do play a gegenpress tactic, so what I don't want to do is get exploited high up the pitch in this game. So we're playing with a cautious mentality. We are playing with a narrow attacking width, more direct so that we can counter a bit better. Slightly lower tempo really, just so that we can try and retain the ball a little bit better as well, not just kind of pass it and lose possession straight away. We'll continue to run at defence again just to retain a little bit more possession and be more disciplined, get guys back into position a little bit more. I'm not going to counter press this game, I'm going to regroup just again to limit the sort of space in behind us for Bayern. We will be counter attacking. We'll distribute quickly, but we'll distribute it out to the full-backs just so that we can try and use the width for the team a little bit more. Gegenpress quite often comes through the centre of the pitch. And in terms of our side of things, we're going to lower our defensive line and we're going to play a mid-block today. Just really to make sure that they can't get in behind us quite as easily. Try and trap them outside. Trigger the press more often when it does get to the mid-block stage. And we'll stay on feet as well, because I don't want to be diving in and letting their guys just kind of skip past us. I might take off the invite crosses because Harry Kane's pretty good in there and he's likely to start up front for them. In terms of opposition instructions today, I think we're going to need to look to limit people, so what I'm going to probably do is I'm probably going to mark Harry Kane and we'll probably go in hard on him as well. In terms of their wingers, Matty's Tell's likely to start out on the left, he cuts in, so I'm going to ask them to show him onto his weaker foot, to show him outside. Leroy Sané, left footed, so he's likely to cut in, again, we'll show onto weaker foot. Musiala is likely to be the main danger, I think, in an advanced playmaker role for them. So I'm going to also ask the guys just to mark him, trigger a press on him, tackle him harder. And same with the full-backs, I'm just going to request that we show them to the outside so they're weaker foot, which is likely to be, see what boys, right-footed. Davies is left-footed. The other ones still are, could really be someone that might dictate tempo for them, so what I'm going to ask as well is that we trigger a press on him and go in hard on him. Kimmich, I'm not overly fussed about Kimmich as much as he's, well, saying that he has kind of mentioned there that he will attempt passes, so yeah, let's just trigger a press on him and go hard on him as well. Just mark the two of them as well so that they can't get too much time on the ball, there's never someone too far away from them. We'll get the team submitted then. John Kennedy again in up front, he's been hopeless for us this second half of the season. Did play well actually last time out, but surprise, surprise, he didn't score again. So come into the dressing room, kind of away from home. This is going to be a mammoth task for us. So what do we see here just now? I think we'll just keep the gesture. Kind of want my cam gesture. So just keep it then as it is just now. See what the best thing is to say. I was kind of hoping, yeah, just ask them to play their natural game today. Going to give the team some encouragement as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give John Kennedy some individual encouragement. Say that I've got faith in him. Hopefully he can do something today, just anything really. I even put him on penalties for the last game in the case we got one, just to try and get him to break this scoring duck that he's had. But Bayern's in a 4-2-3-1 today. I'm fully expecting that we are going to be up against it. We play our 4-4-2 that served us well in the first couple of seasons. Obviously we've kind of veered away from it this year, but it's worth giving it a try today, I think. I don't think the other tactic was going to do too much for us, so we'll see how we do. Really just looking to completely stifle Bayern, but there's a highlight here in the 8th minute. Hopefully we don't concede an early one just to completely throw away what we've been trying to do with this tactic. Kimmich now on the ball. The guys have kind of regrouped fairly well, but it's through to Musiala who puts it in. So 1-0 to Bayern early on. I don't want to throw away the tactic at the moment. I think we'll stick with it for now. See where it gets us. If we feel like it's not going to do anything, we'll make some changes, but probably by that time it will end up being too late anyway. So Rachmani's managed to nick the ball high up here. Don't really understand what the two of them were doing. They had space down the left there and decided to pass it to no one, but got Rachmani again, out to Mosquera. Trying to cut in. Again, this is what we're trying to avoid, is Bayern getting chances to counter. Don't know why Siebert's as far up the pitch either. What's he doing up there? Watson now back to Siebert. So we're trying to be calm, retain possession, but stupid passes like that is where Bayern are just going to completely punish us. So corner now to Bayern, Kimmich to take. Swings it in and it's headed over by Musiala. So we've kind of done okay in terms of possession. We've not created very much at the moment. Bayern again are having the better of the game, but I think we are kind of stifling them a little bit. So we now look to break down the right. Again, they're just picking us off here with the passing. Just can't seem to string two passes together. What I'm wondering if this slow build-up play is affecting the more direct passing. And I've not had too many chances. It could be a lot worse, in fairness. What I might actually do just now, because I think we've still got the marking of the wing backs on. I'm going to take that off. And the main reason being for that is that if we look at Bayern's tactic, they're playing inverted wing backs, so they're pushing our wingers back in if we're marking them. Let's go into the dressing room. I'm going to tell you side, not taking any shots, pretty disappointing. Tell them that they can still improve. Again, we'll give John Kennedy individual feedback. At this stage, I think he knows that I'm lying to him. Saying to him, I think he's got the ability to make a difference, because I really don't. He's shocking. He's one of the worst signings I think I've made. He's actually on his way out, so I'll show you that sort of after this. We've managed to secure a transfer out to West Ham. Yeah, we've got a highlight here just now. Again, we're actually living quite dangerously, I think, with some of this passing that we're doing. The ball's been played in. John Kennedy, of all people, has turned it home. But knowing his luck, this will definitely be disallowed because it's John Kennedy. He doesn't score goals. And John Kennedy's broke his scoring duck. Happy days with our only shot on target so far in the game. classic FMing, but I suppose it's the way we've set up to play today is just to stop Bayern from playing and try and hit them on the counter-attack, and that's what we've managed to do there. So we're getting to the 70th minute. The absolute hero that is John Kennedy scoring the goal. Never hear me bad mouthing Kennedy, he's such a pivotal player to the side, you know. Dalberg kicks it out and it's flicked on. Kennedy's through again, and Kennedy, the absolute legend, has put us 2-1 ahead in the Allianz Arena. He's some player. West Ham are getting one of the best players, I think, in Europe. Coming into the 80th minute, I think we need now to start thinking about making changes. We've got a lot of tired players out there. They've been chasing around quite a lot, so we'll bring Bricalo on for Mosquera. Ranocchia can come off for Johannesson. I don't really have anyone to come in at defensive midfield, unfortunately, for Watson, because Maya's suspended. Borza can come off today for Thomas. Mikic actually doesn't look too bad in terms of his fitness at the moment, so we'll keep him on just for a little while longer. Again, I don't really have anyone striker-wise that's got the quality that I've got up there. I think we'll be making a bit of a rash decision to bring one of the youngsters on at the moment, so we'll stick with that then for now. And we'll get cracking on with more of the game. I think in the last 5 minutes we'll probably look to waste a little bit of time if we're still ahead. As Dalberg's picked up the ball. Hopefully he's smart enough just to waste some time anyway just now. That's it, Dalberg, you keep that ball in your hands. It's played up, Bricalo's headed it down. John Kennedy playing pivotal role there again. Bricalo through. And I don't know how he's not put that one away. It's quite a bad miss for us there. We're coming into the last couple of minutes. I'm going to see, I think Mikic might now be at the stage where we might need to think about taking him off, so we'll bring on Ramsey. Again, we'll keep one sub in hand then at the moment just in case anything goes drastically wrong in the last couple of minutes, and we'll look to waste time frequently as well. I think that's really all we need to do here. We get on to the last couple of minutes of the game. Ball's played up. Bayern are now going to have a late opportunity by the looks of it. That's poor from Thomas. It's nicely nicked from Watson. We just need them not to do anything too stupid here. That's exactly what we want them to do, is just get the ball up the pitch, get it away from the defence and then regroup. Don't let Bayern break through. It's patient build up here for Bayern, they're not too urgent. Kennedy's back there again. Great work rate from Kennedy, and we've got another break on here with Bricalo. We've got a couple of guys in the middle, if we can find them. Kennedy's got his hat-trick. So he's went from not scoring for about 4 months to scoring a hat-trick away from home against Bayern. I suppose a lot of this could be deemed how we play the game. Quite often we play quite a quick style of play, so he's maybe not got as much space, and because we have dropped back today he's getting more time to pick his spot. But yeah, what a performance so far in this game. Bricalo comes forward, played back. Watson could have made it 4 for us. So yeah, very happy with this performance. Johannesson to swing in the corner. He will just take his time with it as we have told him to. Swings it in, Bayern get it clear, but the full time whistle's gone and we've picked up the 3-1 win to go through 5-3 in aggregate. In fairness to us, from the XG side of things, there wasn't really much between the two sides. We knew we were going to have to just try and break and nick a couple of goals, but we've been pretty clinical today. Sorry, John Kennedy, best striker on the planet, has been clinical today, and that's a tremendous performance from the side. So we'll get into the dressing room. I think we'll even do outstretched arms. Really proud of the performance from them. We'll continue on, and Manchester United have eliminated AC Milan, so it'll be United up next in the semi-final then, going from this, which is just great. So scheduling wise we will look at it and see what we've got coming up. Got a few tough games coming up here actually, Celtic, Rangers, then Man United, so we'll come back in for the United game. Again, I'm not really too bothered about showing you domestic football anymore, we've already kind of done that side of things, although we are having a hard task of it this season. But we'll come back for the United games anyway, play the Celtic Rangers games off camera. In terms of the league performance at the moment, this is currently what we're looking at. We're only 3 points clear of Celtic just now. Rangers have dropped off a little bit in the last few games, so they've dropped a little bit further behind the two of us. So likelihood is that we're going to qualify for the Champions League. The question really is, can we kick on and win the league and potentially the Scottish Cup as well domestically to make it 3 trebles in a row? But yep, that'll wrap it up anyway for today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe for any future content, and remember to like, share and comment on the video. It really helps with the algorithm. And thanks very much again for watching.